Will the rally in the IT sector continue next week as well, or will Trump play some new move? Because one headline can change the entire market direction. So let's decode this in Multyfi's weekly analysis, where we will talk about some sector specific actions and at the same time discuss some important factors because of which the market can remain volatile next week. So let's start with our first benchmark, Nifty. So this week in Nifty, we saw a high of 25,899 while Nifty made a low of 25,473. Along with that, Nifty has given a closing above 25,694, which is 11 rupees higher compared to last week. A flat close, but it hides a bigger story. Now, if you check the candle formation, this is kind of a doji candle, and technical analysts refer to such candle as a confusion candle. But technical analysts also believe that because of this candle, we can also see reversals. So, what really caused this confusion in Nifty? So, let's decode what was the reason behind the formation of this candle in Nifty. First of all, we will move to our banking index, that is Bank Nifty, because when the banks move, the market listens. So, as you can see, the banking index showed a very strong rally. And within Nifty, we get to see a very large contribution from the banking sector, that is approximately around 35%. So, Bank Nifty made a low of 58,864 and along with that made a high of 60,235. But if I talk about the closing, we got to see a very strong closing in Bank Nifty at 60,095, which is approximately 843 points above the previous week's close. Now comes the sector everyone is watching closely. Let's talk about our next sector, that is Nifty IT. The main question, is IT finally waking up after the weeks of pain? So, in Nifty IT, we got to see a very good reversal. The losing streak of the last 3 weeks has been broken by Nifty IT. And this week, after giving a closing at 39,086 level, Nifty IT has somewhere shown that yes, strength is now visible in the IT stocks, but not every sector shared this strength. Now let's talk about some sectors because of which we saw losses in the Nifty. So first we will talk about the energy sector. If we check the energy index, so let's check the energy index. Yes, so if we check the energy index, we did not see any major movement here, but the energy sector gave a negative closing, that is approximately around 63 points. So let's talk about the next big sector, that is the auto sector. So let's open the auto sector chart. So, the auto sector showed strong bearishness this week, and after losing 491 points, the auto sector gave us a closing at 27,596. So, now let's talk about the next important sector, that is the pharma sector. The pharma sector was one of the biggest losing sectors this week, where it lost 2.39% and gave us a closing at 22,217 level. Whereas the next sector, CNX FMCG, lost 295 points and closed at 52,142 level. So, here comes the most important part, that is the next week's outlook. Talking about some sector specific actions, a very important report has come from Jeffries. Jeffries has said that India's upcoming budget may place strong focus on first three sectors, The first sector is the defense sector. According to recent updates we have been hearing, we can also estimate to some extent that there could be heavy investments in the defense sector. After that, India may make significant investments for electronic manufacturers and the banking sector. So, these are the three sectors which will be very important for next week, and some stocks from these sectors where you can place your bets you will find exclusively through the Multyfi app. Now, let's talk about some important news which we may get to see next week, because of which the market can remain volatile. On Wednesday, there is a speech by President Trump. Then, on Thursday, we may get to see three important news events, out of which the biggest news could be the final GDP numbers. Along with that, on Friday as well, some important news is expected. So keep an eye on this data and at the same time stay connected with Multify.